we have to have margin in our lives so we leave time for spontaneous things to happen, or for things to go wrong, or for us to think.
People are not doing the right thing for their life, and it bothers me.
So take 1 to 2 minutes right now and hit me with the point-by-point way to fix this for all of us. Welcome all to the Something to Prove podcast. I'm your host, Mark Drager. Of course, I'm joined, as always, on Evan's channel with Evan Carmichael. How's it going, Evan?
I'm good.
I do want to start off by saying that the purpose of this podcast is a time for Evan and I to hang out. It's a time for us to... What? You're waving your hands at me. What's up?
I'm waiting. Hang out.
It's a chance for us to hang out. It's a chance for us to talk and dig deep into what's happening in our lives and how that relates to the topics that entrepreneurs and people who want to start businesses are faced with on a daily challenge. And it's a chance for us to believe in one another and have something to prove. Did I add everything to the list?
We got it in, but it's
mostly
we got to
belief.
squish that down.
It's mostly
a work in progress.
It's because you're counting on me. So yeah, but
listen,
okay.
The world counts on Mark Drager.
I know. Thank you. But I am actually very excited to hear. So what happened to you today that makes you say, uh-oh, watch out, you're gonna have crazy energy for Mark?
Helping people see the truth and the thing under the thing is people are not doing the right thing for their life, and it bothers me.
Okay.
Yeah, it bothers me greatly, and I need people to understand it, and then you have to do it.
How did that happen today, when today is the day that you're on all of your podcasts and you're just doing like interviews and stuff? How is today the day that people are pissing you off by not doing what they have to do?
Well, some of the people on the interviews that I'm doing, right?
Okay.
Like this guy asked me as his last question, what do you wish is the question that people ask you? And like the question that I want you to ask me is the one that means something to you. I don't need to say the same thing over and over again. What matters to you? And then lead with that. Like lead with the question that you actually care about, not your typical no intro and like why do you do that? Like forget about the audience. You make it about you and a coaching session and what you want to learn, and make that important from the beginning. Then I got a guy who came on and he's from Greece. And I was talking about my 5 S's morning routine, and the first one is sing. And then I told him you should do this with your wife. Like when she wakes up, you should put on a song that you both that you know that she loves, and then dance with her. And I said, hey, and like you can apply. Your parents should do it too. And he's like, well, my mom has cancer, and she's like in the bedroom upstairs, and doesn't have that long to go. And he's like, dude, it's the same thing. Like, you need to go and find an old Greek song that she loves and play it for her. And even she's not going to get out of the bed and dance because she can't. But like, even if she just moves her head or smiles a bit, that's a giant gift. You've just lifted her mood when all she's doing is hating her life lying in bed, right? And like, it bothers me if he doesn't do it. Then I'm training Alex. Like, Alex drove me here because my Porsche is in the freaking dealer because Nina destroyed my door.
Calm down. She rubbed it up against a pole. It's not a big deal.
It's not just a little scratch though. It's a full on like.
Guess what happened to my wife's brand new van this week?
Is it really? That's the best.
Someone opened their door into my wife's brand new van. $1,400 in damages. The van's 3 weeks old.
Well, whatever my cost is going to be more, Mark. So you can just sit in that. Like,
I know.
No matter what I'm paying, I feel bad for Evan what he has to pay. Alex drives me here, and he's talking about mentoring the people on his team, and he's just missing stuff that bothers me because he has to get it because he wants to be a leader. And here's one of the things: accepting the story that people under you are saying, like, this is the reason why I'm like this. Accepting that story cements it and bakes it in for them. It's like, no, that's not the reason. You're seeing it all wrong. That is wrong. And you need to call it out and explain it and walk people through it. And there were 2 separate situations today with people on the team that I had to walk through. And he's getting it now. He gets it. But he needs to believe it so that he can then help other people. Because without the certainty, if you're calling somebody out on their BS, without absolute certainty and clarity, they're not going to follow along because they don't want to hear the truth. So it bothers me greatly, greatly. I'm pumped that he finally gets it because I sat on him for a long time to do you understand? What part of the logic train doesn't make sense? And if okay, no, fine, it makes sense. He finally got it after a lot of back and forth. But now he needs to teach it because these people's lives are going to be ruined for life unless it gets fixed. This is how important it is to me.
Evan.
I'm going to have to go take stress pills because I care too much.
Evan.
I'm going to have to go to Tony Robbins in 2 weeks with you and
Yes.
Louie and Alex and just say, how do I care less about people? That's what I'm going to work on.
No, you don't want to care less about people.
I'm joking, but
okay.
I'm bothered. This is the energy I'm carrying in.
So
it's all
this
love,
is-
and I'm pumped. We had a win. It's great. He's learning. It's huge growth. But will he be able to have the reach, the impact, fast enough to save these people? Or is it just waiting for the next fish to come along, right? This has to get fixed. We can't let this person get away. It's important. And it's on me. Somebody I've met once in my life, who I'm getting all riled up about. It matters.
I love it.
It matters.
I'll just let you talk. Cool.
Okay,
Go.
I'm
Keep
done.
going. Keep going.
That's it. So then Alex leaves oh man, I'm sorry. Mark's got to deal with this now. Whatever. Mark's going to love it.
This is the best. This is the best. When Evan comes in tired and not ready to have fun or be fire, that's when it's a harder podcast.
Great. Let's go, Mark. What do you got?
You ready? So
Yes.
Today, what I want to talk about is margin in our lives. Margin. So there's this idea that if we are running at 100% or 110% or whatever you want to say, if you're running from thing to thing all the time without any wiggle room, without any margin in your schedule, you are going to be over leveraged. And if you're over leveraged, if you have zero margin, if you're moving from thing to thing and you're completely overwhelmed or completely stressed out, then you're not going to be very effective. You're not going to have any time for creative thinking. You're not going to be efficient in any way. And so I was thinking about you got to write this book in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Right? That's a crazy thing. I was thinking about when I have my busy periods at work, and I literally go from, so Tuesday, for example, I had 4 2-hour meetings back to back. So I got up at 4:30. I got into the office at 5:45 so I could do a little bit of work, because from 7:30 in the morning in back to back to back to back meetings all day long. And so the day disappears, and I walk out of, those 8 hours of meetings, and it's just all the emails stack up. The day's completely gone. So whatever I didn't do on Monday, suddenly it's Wednesday. It's now happening. And we have days like that. We have weeks like that. We have times where we think, I don't have enough time to do anything well. I know you're the king and you're the master of scheduling and bucketing and delegating and all those things. But I think it's more than just that. I think we have to have margin in our lives so we leave time for, spontaneous things to happen, or for things to go wrong, or for us to think. And when you're in startup or when you're running a business, I think it's really, really hard. So I want to talk about that this week, because I think it's something that I struggle with. I think a lot of people struggle with it, but I'm thinking about you over the next 2 weeks when you have to put out an entire book. And at what point are you going to leave any kind of margin in your life? Because if I were you, I would have canceled my entire day of podcast interviews. When I got that email yesterday that says, hey, you got 2 weeks to submit a final copy of a book, I would have panicked. I would have freaked out. I would have gone crazy. I would have started working on it right away and canceled everything and not planned a single thing. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now. I'd be saying, sorry, dude, I got to go write a book in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So let's give some context to the audience. You know how much I love context.
I know you do.
I've been on this book idea, I think since late January, when I came up with the idea and said I want to do another tour around the book. Either late January or early February. We're filming this now end of June. I've been working my lit agent, trying to get opportunities, ideas. I started writing it, and now I had a call. It was yesterday, right? Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Where they said, yeah, we like it. We like this idea. Up until now, it's only been sample chapter. Give me a sample chapter. Like, sample chapter? I got 40,000 words. This is great. Sample chapter. Easy. Blow that out, right? I've been writing the book, and they've been telling me, don't write the book. Like, you don't even know how it's going to turn out. Don't we just need a summary, and at some point, we'll need a sample chapter. It's like, I'm going to get ahead of this. Whatever. I'm in the flow. I'm going to write. So I wrote 40-something thousand words. Yesterday, I have a call, and they say, we want to do a deal. You have 2 weeks to finish off the book. And I'm like, is that like edited, final edited? Or is it just, here's my first draft? Like, no, final, edited, everything you want in the book so we can lay it out. And I'm thinking, I love rush timelines, but that's crazy. Because I want people nobody's seen it. Right? I need eyes on it. I need to look it over myself. I still need to finish it. Mark has a piece in there I haven't even looked at that he took forever to write.
I sent it to you 6 weeks ago. And I know I'm going to have to rewrite it. So when I saw your email, your Instagram, my first reaction was, oh no, I only have 2 weeks to fix this part or else I'm going to get cut out of the book.
So there you go. I filmed my genuine reaction, which was like, I don't know, this is crazy. And in most cases, I run a no-crisis business. So I think that's one way to build margin in is I don't do stuff that requires last-minute crazy rushes, which then gives me the opportunity to do last-minute crazy rushes. But my last-minute crazy rushes aren't against client deadlines. It's against what I want to do. Right? So if I get an idea to do a video that I've never done before, I have some margin built in to go off and do it because I'm not reacting to everybody else's issues and they're taking up my time. I want to build a no-crisis business. In this example, I failed. Like, I should have kept writing the book. They're telling me don't write the book. They're telling me just do sample chapter. I didn't listen to them, and I wrote it, but I didn't do it hard enough. I should have gone harder. So I'm pissed at myself, but now I don't know what to do, right? And so I don't know. I haven't even looked at the book in maybe 2 months because I've been working on my YouTube course. And so I don't know how much of it I have left to do. Like, I haven't read through it. Maybe I'm going to read through it and it's going to be God tier and I'm going to love it. Or maybe I'm going to be embarrassed and this sucks. Like,
so you could always push the delivery date, right? It's because you're working to a December 6th date?
Even that. They want to do a January something because I want to do a book tour. Mm-hmm. I want to do East Coast, Texas, Mexico book tour, same 90 days, 20-something cities, and they love that idea. That's part of what got them hooked on the idea. But they said, if you're only doing the tour in January, we shouldn't launch it in December because the stores are going to cancel the books. They're going to ship them back because in the first month, you're not making as much sales. So they want to time the launch with the launch of the book, which, fine, I'm okay with, but I want to be out in January, right? And so even that, apparently, is a rush timeline. So, I mean, I could self-publish. I could do the whole thing myself, but then it's not in bookstores, and that creates a problem. So I didn't know what to do. It was the most like, I don't know what to do moment I've had in the past year, maybe. I don't know. Maybe since I broke my neck. I didn't know what to do next. Like, we're trying to plan, like, when a crisis happens. I like the chaos when I come up with an idea and then I can execute it, not when it's being forced on me by some external factor. So it was being forced on me. So I thought about canceling Thursdays. Today's, and like, lack of momentum destroys me. So the fact that I find out yesterday afternoon, evening, and I don't have a lot of time to work on it, now this entire day is just all the way through, and I have meetings tonight. It's like all the way, and tomorrow is full. So I thought about I could cancel it. The solution that Nina actually suggested was Saturday, which is usually our fun day. She booked some gathering with her friends.
Okay.
And she's like, you know what?
Some
you don't
gathering
enjoy these
with
things
her friends.
anyway.
So you don't have to go.
You don't enjoy these things anyway, so why don't you take Saturday and write, and
Nice.
Sunday to write. So where am I sacrificing? I'm not sacrificing the podcast and my audience. I'm sacrificing time with my wife for the Saturday, Sunday. So I told my publisher, let me see if I can get it done this weekend.
Done this weekend.
Done, like, if I can finish it, I have 40-something thousand words. Like that's a book. It's a shorter book. It's like a 200-something page book. But I could end it there and just, if it's good enough that I'm happy with it, I need a day to just read it and then finish it, and then another day to just go through it again, and assuming I'm not adding anything new, just like making it fit.
Right.
So that's my solution. But I went to bed last night in my head, like I'm stressing out about the book. Like, how am I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit this deadline, and I hate missing deadlines. But then the thing that saved it was just gratitude. I posted about this morning on Instagram. I just said to myself, dude, you get to write a book, man. You get to go on a tour. Like,
Right.
What are you complaining about? This is the biggest problem that you're facing right now. Like, what if you didn't have an arm? Like that's a big deal. So that kind of just saved it. I fell asleep, woke up.
You get to write a book.
Yeah, so I haven't.
Someone wants to buy it. The publisher wants to put it out. You get to go on a tour.
Yeah. I mean, I need to deliver. There's still a bunch of steps that have to happen, and we'll see. Like maybe this weekend I just suck, or I'm hitting the roadblock, or it doesn't work. I don't know. I mean, but I've left it from my mind basically until Saturday, because today and tomorrow is back. But that's not normal. Like I'm not pushed by clients.
No, but
I'm not pushed by.
You've built a non-crisis business, as you've said. But for those of us who live in the land of crisis businesses, we're pulled by clients and projects and teams and things that come up in different ways.
No. I think that is the solution. Fix your business. If you're constantly reacting to other people's problems and emergencies, you never get to do the thing you want. That is a solution. I work with big clients. I just finished a project with Cisco. So there's limited access, there's limited exposure, but when you get me, I'm focused and it's going to be fire.
So in that is, in what you just said is an approach or a theory or a process or whatever you want to call it that a lot of us struggle with, which is really the secret. And so a big part of agile, people talk about the, agile mindset or agile approaches. You can shake your head all you want, but a big part of it is limiting work in progress, right? So a lot of us start something. We start a project and then we hit a roadblock. We're waiting for someone to do something. We can't go on. We hit a roadblock. But we don't want to be not busy. So the next thing we do is we go, well, we got to start another project. So we move on and start a second project. And then we start a third project. And so what happens is we have all of these projects in the work. We start things. We get kind of halfway through. We don't really have time to deliver stuff. We're kind of delivering things sometimes. And because we're not limiting our work in progress, we have all of these open things open. And we don't drive things forward. And we don't limit things enough or squeeze things enough in order to say, like, this is the only thing I'm going to be doing. And so when you say that, when you get Evan, I'm 100% focused, it's because based on your blocking calendar and the fact that you only have a few projects on the go at a given time, and you don't tend to introduce new projects and start new things until something else is being delivered, you are in fact creating these like artificial boundaries, these limits, these work in progress limits to say, I'm not going to start the eighth thing. I don't think you're reading
it right.
No?
No. I have lots of work in progress stuff. It's not limiting the number of projects.
But you limit it based on your blocks. You say Friday is my CEO day, and so you have it blocked. Yes. In the 10 hours you can do your CEO stuff, and you may have 6 projects open, but on Monday you're not worrying about your Friday stuff.
That's different.
It's still a limit. It's still a constraint. So whether you're limiting the number of overall
at least
projects,
the way that I heard it, as you were saying, it's like take on less stuff. Have less work.
It could be take on less stuff. It could be I only have 5.
I have lots of stuff that's constantly open.
I know. What I'm saying though is you're setting limits. So you're setting limits based on your blocks of time. I'm suggesting that you could not have blocks of time, but just set limits on the number of open projects you have at a given time.
I don't think that solves the problem.
Okay.
That's where I'm disagreeing.
Okay.
I don't think the number of projects is the thing. I think it's, are you using your time effectively? And the limit should be on making sure you have time in the calendar for each project and not letting, when you're going to go off course, it's because you want to go off course, not because somebody's pulling you off course. So that's the no crisis business. I'm going off course because I want to try this new thing on. Even the book, I didn't have time for the book. I'm in the middle of my tour. I was in Albuquerque doing my tour, still finalizing what my content is. I'm less productive than I am in Toronto because every third day we're off exploring the city and having food and
living life.
Taking in culture and stuff I don't want to do, you know. So I'm way less productive than normal, and I just decided I'm going to write a book. But I build it in. Like I build it into my structure so that I have the time to be able to do it. I'm forcing myself off course, not somebody is pulling me off course. And so the publisher is the problem because I got blindsided. I let that happen. I wasn't forward thinking enough. I'm getting pulled off course that if I want this to happen, I need to radically adjust what I'm going to do for the next 2 weeks. And I don't like that.
Right.
But it's not limiting inflow. It's not limiting work in progress.
I'm saying that works for you. So here's the thing with me.
I'm saying this is what works.
I block my time. I do block my time. And I'm a starter. I love starting things. I love getting up to about halfway through things, and then I'm not, and then I'm ready for the next thing. I'm ready to start another thing. And so, no matter for someone like me, no matter how much I block my time, I will continue to start new things during those blocks if I don't set limits for how many things I can start. So I think everybody has different challenges that they're facing. You are like starting things, and you like working on things, and you like crossing things off your list and finishing them. I'm perfectly happy to start 14 different things and leave them all halfway through and then get upset that I'm not getting anything done. Because I just like starting things.
Great, then be the expert starter and hand off the rest to somebody else. That's what you should build. Not say, I'm a genius at starting things, but because I can't finish well, I'm going to force myself to finish.
I'm not talking about just business. I'm talking about all areas of my life, though, right? Margin doesn't just count in your business. The margin that you need to set, or the free up, or the limits that you need to set, our business, our life, our relationships, are everything.
Okay, great. Focus on what you're genius at. I mean, do you want to get married every 3 years, Mark? Like, is that what you're saying? Like starting new relationships? You know, I don't want to look after my kids and being father. Like, there's some things you want to stay committed to.
Sure.
So great. So the ones you want to stay committed to. Listen, you've been married for how long? You're a young dude, but how old are you? You're 36?
I'm 36.
And you've been married for like 35 years.
14 years. 14 years we've been married.
Right? So married forever. So you can stay committed. You've got 18 kids. You want to be a great father.
Wow, 18 kids and married. What did you say, 60 years?
It's pretty close. But don't tell me you have a commitment issue and you can't stay on something. Here you are, you're doing it. But there are other things that don't get you excited as much. If we're still in the same format on this podcast in 3 years, maybe you get bored of it. And so maybe we stop the podcast, or maybe you start something else. Awesome. But within the context, because that hasn't been your history where I want a new wife every 2 months.
That's such a random thing to pick, though.
No, it's not random. No, because I said business, and you said, no, Evan, this applies to personal life. But it's not. Because you are loyal, and you are stable.
I'm 100% loyal, but within our relationship, there's still new things. There's still, let's change things, and let's change things up, and let's be new, and let's be different, and all of those things.
So understand that that's where your natural genius is at, and leverage it instead of trying to force it. What you're saying is, I'm a genius at starting things. I love it. I'm great at this. Like, I am the world's best starter. Right? Awesome. But my strategy is now, I'm going to limit how many things that I start. So let me limit my genius so I can focus
deliver
on the stuff
something
that I hate doing.
So I can get stuff done.
That's not how you do it. You need to find the people who complement your genius. Not say, I'm amazing at this 20%, and so I'm going to spend this 80% doing the crap that I hate and limiting my genius. You need to find the people to go execute and finish the project so you can start the next thing that's going to blow up.
Does it not bother? Does it? No. Yes and no. Does it not bother you, Angry Evan? Does it not bother you that when we talked about this 2 weeks ago, when you're busy focusing on getting your office It's the same thing. You're getting your office done, so you drop all the other balls. You don't review the NDA. You're doing your tour, and your team is going crazy because you're only working, 2 out of every 3 days. You decide you're going to write a book in the middle of the tour, so everything else drops. You're just ignoring whole parts of your business while you're busy running off doing the stuff that you want to do and excited about and fun. You're saying that's the answer?
Yes. Like, listen, you know how many times I talked about you today? A lot. On my interviews, at least 3 times.
Was it good?
Because people ask me, how did the idea for the top 10 rules for success come along? And I said, let me tell you a story about Mark Drager, my friend Mark Drager, who posted this post about Kanye West, and I needed to sidetrack everything I was doing on my YouTube channel to make a top 10 rules of Kanye West just to show it to my friend Mark's face, right?
In the face.
That's why I did it, right? It was meant to be a one-off thing just for you to see and my audience to learn from, but I had no intention of doing this whole thing, and it became the thing. Like, it blew up. Like,
you're the top 10 guy now. You're the top 10 guy.
The next thing that you want to start could be the thing that blows up your entire life, takes you to the next level, but you're so focused on executing something that you hate now that you never do the thing. That's the problem. So does it bother me? No. Because I know that focused work of anybody, focused Mark Drager work, focused Evan Carmichael work is going to be fire. Like, what I create is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. What you create when you're in the zone, I've seen it, is amazing. When I said that you vomit greatness, I believe that. But when you're doing work that you hate and it's like, oh man, no man, you gotta stop doing. Don't build the machine so
Angry
you can spend
Evan.
80% of your time. What?
Angry Evan has taken us far off from the topic of margin in our lives.
No, this is the whole thing.
The whole thing is blocking your time and doing the things that you're most passionate and are super obsessed and excited about, and ignoring everything else.
If I had to say, Mark, I have to cancel this podcast because I'm going to write my book.
That makes total sense to me.
I know you would do it. I know everybody who I had to talk to today would be okay with it. And I have done that. Like, I've bumped things.
You thought we were going to cancel this podcast because I was on vacation 3 days ago. That didn't make any sense to me.
Great. No, but like I might have had to do that. And if I value this, I don't like disappointing people. I don't want you putting something in your calendar and then it doesn't happen because of me. And if I was really in the zone on something, or something happened that I needed to go and chase down, even if I didn't explain it, like, Mark, I can't make the show today, I have something important that I need to deal with, you would understand. Mm-hmm. And that's the relationship I built with everybody. You're saying I'm letting stuff go in my business. Everybody in my business understands that. Because one, I very rarely let people down. And two, if I did, hopefully I've delivered enough for you over and over and over again that there's enough emotional equity to say, hey, I need this time to do this thing for me. You would, without question, and same thing both ways. Like, if you said, Evan, I can't make the show. Can you do something by yourself? I can't tell you what's going on, but I need the time to myself. No problem. I'll do it. I'll make the show. Right?
Okay, so you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're running a marketing agency, you're a plumber. Name any service-based business. You put out a product similar to other people who put out products, but name any service-based business. And you think that we can structure, and I'm not saying we can't, I just haven't connected the dots in my head, how you structure your business in such a way that you can just ignore huge parts of your business because you're getting excited about something else.
It starts with not what you're not doing, but what you are doing. So you're worried about, I'm losing all this traction when I'm not there. What are you doing while you are there? Because if you massively over-deliver for the people you're dealing with, relationships, like the reason why Nina suggested that is because I've been over-delivering as a husband, right? So she's giving me the time to do it. It's her suggestion for me to go off and book this time. Over-delivering for your team, over-delivering for your customers, so that when you have an hour of Mark Drager time, something amazing is going to come out of that hour. That's the starting point. That gives you the leverage to then do other things. So when I'm working with a brand, if I'm working with Cisco, and they want all this stuff, and they want last minute, nope, that's not how we work. But I know what you want, and I'm going to crush it for you. Let's use a plumber example, or I mean even TDS, right? But plumber. If I am the plumber, then I am going to be the world's greatest plumber. Like, there's going to be a lineup to have me come and be. I don't want to be in the last minute reaction, my toilet is leaking guy. That's not my business. Lots of other plumbers can do that. That's not who I am. I'm going to be the world's greatest plumber. I'm going to have a waiting list for people to want me to be their plumber and come to their place. And some people won't want to wait, and that's awesome. But when I'm with you there, you're going to get a different experience from every other plumber. You're not going to lump me in with every other plumber that can come by.
And lots of people don't want to wait.
Awesome. Don't come to me. There's lots of people out there who need good plumbers. And when you get good, when you become actually great, when you create, talk about margin, when there's actually the big margin between you and number two, people will wait. People will value your time. People will stand in line. And it's not like meant to be, hey, look at me, I'm so important, you get to stand in line. It's not about that. But it's about you structuring your day, you structuring your time, that people value you because you bring insane value to them. And that only comes from doing the work that you're a genius at, not 80% on the crap.
And I sound like the contrarian, but the reality is that a lot of us are over leveraged, either in terms of time or energy, or we feel we don't have the money that we need to be able to hire the people so we can delegate the things that we need to do, or focus or skill set. There's lots of areas we're over leveraged.
You're over leveraged doing work that you don't like.
Yes,
for clients that suck. That's where you're over leveraged. That's what needs to be trimmed.
Just wait. We have to wear many, many, many hats, right?
Yes.
We all have
100%.
to wear many, many hats. And so the genius hat that we put on, we rarely get to pull out and we rarely get to put on because we're so busy wearing all of the other hats. And so the idea of...
No, you're in the wrong business then. You're in the wrong business. You shouldn't be wearing non-genius hats, not if you want to be great. So we're genius at this and we just kind of are okay at everything else? That's an extraordinary company? No, you're genius at this, and then you hire people who are genius at those things, or you don't do those lines of business.
It's fine on the business line side. I'm saying just on the day-to-day side.
Day-to-day side.
You know, the other day, I had to stop what I was doing to print checks because checks had to be printed on a different day than the day they're normally printed by someone else because I'm on vacation and I had to sign them and the person wasn't in. And so I'm spending an hour printing and signing checks. I'm not mailing them. Thank goodness someone else is doing that. And there's a bunch of stuff that I've delegated out, but I still got to put my bookkeeper accountant hat on and say, today I get the privilege. This was the day with the back-to-back meetings on top of that, where I get to stop what I'm doing to print and sign checks. So, you know, there's many, many, many different hats that we have to wear. When we're doing our genius thing and we're super focused, of course we're going to over-deliver. But without setting limits on what we do, the number of hats we wear, the way that you schedule your time or whatever it is, we're going to be pulled in a bunch of different ways. And we're just going to get tired. We're going to get burnt out.
I just don't accept most of what you're saying.
I know that you're on the other side of it. I'm just saying that this is the reality for many of us.
You've allowed that to happen. You're like in an abusive relationship where it's like you can't get out. No, you're there. It's your fault. Get out. Like, you're not the one hitting yourself, but you've allowed that to happen. You've married this person. You need to move on. You need to get out. You have battered wife syndrome. Battered husband syndrome.
We shouldn't be making light of.
No, but I'm not. Like, you hate this part. This is what happens. I reject most of what you're saying. I don't want to build a business where I get pulled in a million directions. Does it happen? Of course. Consistently? No. You have to be willing to let some small balls drop because you're going for great things. You can either focus on getting every small ball and never do anything great, or you focus on the great balls and you let some small balls drop.
I'm starting to let small balls drop, and then I get text from Evan saying, "Yo, what's up with this?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
fix my problems, Mark.
Yeah, I shouldn't have let those.
Listen, I was about to say I'm a terrible client, but I don't know that I'm that terrible of a client.
You are challenging. You are a very challenging client. Yes.
Well, challenging is different. I agree. I'm very challenging. Yes.
Because you only care about what you care about the moment you care about it, and we don't know what you care about or what you're going to care about until you care about it and tell us that you care about it. Yes, that is 100% true. You are hyper focused on the things that you care about in that moment, and you do not care about anything else until suddenly you do start caring about it. Yes, 100%.
There's pieces of that the way you explained it there was a little bit better. But
yes.
When I'm focused, when I want to work on something, but here's the thing, when I want to work on something, I want to work on something. When I'm ready, like there's a guy doing my Spanish channel, and I had a moment on a Tuesday to work on I had a free time, so I'm diving into the Spanish channel. So I'm sending him a message on Hangout, hey, we should try this, boom, 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 boom. He messaged me back on Hangouts the next day, and like, oh, sorry, man, I'll respond to you next Tuesday.
Because it's your product. It's your product that's put out at your pace for consumption by others in like a passive way. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
I was
not
in
like,
the zone.
It's not like the Spanish client is calling you up and saying like, "Hey, we need to get this out, otherwise you're going to lose this $500,000 deal." And you're like, "I'll talk to you next Tuesday." You wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, but you're still not listening, right? Like that all gets factored in when I do my deal with Cisco. Mm-hmm. What do you need? What are the requirements? Okay, we're gonna schedule all that stuff out. I'm gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna do that. You need me on email support the day before? No. But as an example, like we did this competition. Cisco gave away $300,000 in prizes for young entrepreneurs, right? Mm-hmm. And they had a requirement like, hey, we want you to post X number of times and talk about the contest and whatever. Great. The last requirement was for the winner, whoever won mm-hmm. the People's Choice Awards, they get X $1,000. Can you post about them on your channel and showcase their, just do a picture post, right? I message them back and I say, you know what I want to do? I want to do a video interview with them on my IG Live and put it to my YouTube. And
you did it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
But that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is what you want. I'm going to give you way more, and you're not going to be upset at me with missing an email or two or behind or not hitting a certain deadline that came later, because I'm giving you way more than you asked me for, and I'm caring a lot more about you than anybody cares about you. Like nobody else. I don't know how many people they work with on this. Nobody else asked them that. Nobody else cared enough about the project for that to happen. I did. But I'm probably also the least responsive of anybody they worked with. That's what I'm talking about. It's not just doing the bare basics and giving them what they wanted. It's crushing it. And that gives you the permission to then take longer or be not responsive on other things, because those things don't matter. I'm dropping small balls to go after greatness.
I see you like that.
That's what
I see it in
everybody
your
should
eyes
do.
That you like that, yes.
That's what everybody should do. You drop small balls because you are chasing greatness. That if I asked Fanta for some help with some marketing or whatever, Mark, can you help me? You didn't do that yet, by the way. Where's my, what did I ask you to do? I need my top 10 new intro, Mark.
Your intro, yes.
Right? Great.
I gave you the other stuff back.
Right. So, but if you don't write back to me for 4 days, maybe I've moved past it. But then if you blow my face off with what you write and come back with, like, man, that Drager is hard to get a hold of, but man, that guy is great.
See, and I
That's
don't like
what I want people to say.
I don't like that. What I like is amazing response, amazing experience, because the experience does not make up, like, great work does not make up for bad experience.
It's not. It's the experience that I'm after. I'm chasing the experience with the client. I want Cisco saying it was great working with Evan. But you're tying greatness to just being speedy. I'm not. I'm tying greatness.
I'm not saying just speedy. I'm saying that you're saying that you're okay to have a slow response time, to ignore the client for a few days, because when you do come back, it's next level every single time. I'm saying both is what I want.
Awesome, but you're not doing both. You're doing the first and sacrificing greatness, because you're in the muck, because you're just responding to emergencies all the time. And you can have a team member, but if you want Mark Drager's time has to mean something. And it's focused. It's the same thing when you're at home, like you're with your wife. Right? If you're constantly being interrupted and people messaging you, then you have lack of quality time everywhere. And you don't create great work when you don't have quality time to focus on something.
That's the topic, margin.
Yeah. I'm giving you the answer, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, yes, when I'm at home, I'm still at work in my mind. When I'm at work, I'm thinking about this next thing.
And then you suck as a husband. Stop doing that.
There you go.
Right? But here's the thing, like you could spend even less time with your wife, but way more focused. Way more focused. Like this is our time. We're going to go for a 3-hour walk together. I don't know, whatever. More focused. And it's not just you, it's most people. Like it doesn't count. Sitting on the couch for 3 hours watching Netflix and each being on your phones is not quality time.
But you have to create the margin. You have to either limit the number of things that you're doing, or as you're saying, as you're saying, you have to block things out and be fully dedicated to what you're doing. Listen, you can talk about your Saturdays with Nina, but you and I still spend a lot of time on Saturdays texting one another, and I can tell that you're at the restaurant waiting for the dinner to show up when you're texting me, because 7 minutes later I see your food on Instagram, and I was like, oh. He was sitting across from his wife at dinner having a crazy conversation with me.
Great. So, maybe I got to delete Mark Drager from my social contacts. Wow. That's what I'm learning. Amazing.
Wow. Is that what you're learning from this?
Two, like if depends. Like, listen, if Nina's going to go to the bathroom or we're not always 100% together, great. I'm going to go and see what's up. But ask Nina. This would be the acid test. Like if Nina feels that I'm not connected enough to her on a Saturday, then it's on me. Then I haven't executed well. Then I suck. Great. I need to do better.
Nina's pretty awesome at letting you do your thing, though.
Okay, but like why? Yes, because Nina's awesome, and we created the structure for that to exist. Like you can't just give all the credit to circumstances. No, we work on that. Because I plan for a new food for her to try every weekend, even though I'm not a foodie. Right?
Soup.
Like, I created that. We created that environment for that to happen, for that. And I think everybody can. Everybody can have a loving, caring relationship. But you're not creating the circumstances for it to breathe. For Nina to suggest, take our Saturday and spend it on the book. I want you to go do that.
Okay.
That doesn't just exist.
So take 1 to 2 minutes right now and hit me with the point-by-point way to fix this for all of us.
You start with the mindset that you're going to drop some small balls because you're chasing something big. Mm-hmm. Step number 1. 2, you're doing work that you're a genius at. Genius. And eliminate, automate, delegate everything else away, because you only do great work when you are being your genius self, not what most people do of spending 90% of their time doing stuff that they hate. You're not going to win. You just won't. Mm-hmm. What did I say?
I want all of them. We started with mindset. Yeah. We went on to spending your time on genius stuff.
Great. And then 3, I would say over deliver with the people that you're with.
Great. Okay. Now tactics.
Well, okay. So to over deliver, you have to be their chief goal officer. What do they care about? What do they want? Don't just give them what they want, and don't just give them what you want to give them. What do they actually care about? Cisco wants promotion for their entrepreneur. So how about I introduce an IG Live, which nobody else is thinking about, so that we can do that, give them exposure, and put on my YouTube channel. My wife loves surprises and loves food, so even though I hate food, right? We're going to go off and do this thing, right? So what do they care about? What's important to them? Not what you want to give them, and then blow their face off. And then that gives you the margin to do everything else that you want in life.
More tactical. How do we get from where I am, where many business owners are, where many people are, whether you're working for someone else or you're running your own business, where we have, I got the kids and we got soccer schedules, and I have my wife and I have my business, and I have, when I'm at work, the things that I love doing and the things that I hate doing and all of these things. How do you get from there to the other side where you're at?
You start by respecting your time more. You start by setting boundaries. You start by saying, by education and communication, right? So when that guy messaged me, when people message me on Hangouts or Facebook, I let them know, this is like, you need me right away. I'm stopping what I'm doing to be here with you. This better be important.
Maybe that's why we talk so much on Saturdays, because I only Facebook you.
For my team, if it's 24 hours, email me. I'll respond within 24 hours. If you need me faster than that, then message me, but it better be something urgent.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the things that you think are urgent aren't actually urgent. And by then freeing up your team to say, hey, I trust you, it allows them to grow. And I'm comfortable with people making some mistakes. Because we're going fast, and you're going to make mistakes when you go fast. But I'd rather be fast with some mistakes than perfect than with this brick that never moves. So it starts with you as the leader. You got to decide. Decide that I'm a genius. I'm going to focus on what I'm genius at. I'm going to not get distracted by small things. I'm going to let people know with love and care and compassion what I'm doing. I'm going to be there for them like a rock star when they need me. I'm going to have all the margin I need in my life.
That's the answer. That's the answer. Thank you, Evan. Let's do some fun questions, and then we will go ahead and answer some of the viewer questions. Okay, I have 3 would you rather questions.
Okay.
So I dug for some ones that would be a little bit more challenging for you. Are you ready?
I had one for you, but I forgot it. Okay, anyway,
Next week. Here you go.
Yeah.
Would you rather have no eyebrows or only one eyebrow?
I would go only one because I could always shave it and have no eyebrow.
Wow, okay. I would go only one as well, but for a different reason. I feel like no eyebrows and no one would say anything to you. They would just judge you secretly, and I don't like that. One eyebrow, there's a story there.
Okay.
When you walk around with one eyebrow, some people are going to be like, they're going to be bold enough to ask you, what's up with that one eyebrow?
I got my question.
Okay.
My question for you is the classic, if your house is burning down and all your loved ones were safe, but you could pick one thing to take out of the house, what would it be?
Can I assume that my laptop is already out of my house or no?
Sure.
Well, because my laptop has all my work stuff on it, and so like that would like it's not a very fun thing,
though, isn't it? Is your stuff not backed up?
Yeah, it's backed up to the cloud, but it would still be like really disruptive. So aside from my laptop, something more fun.
Really disruptive to just download your files from the cloud? That's the thing?
Dude, I have like 4 terabytes of information backed up. It would take a long time. So what would it be? So if my house was burning down and I can only save one of my possessions, what would it be? Maybe my motorcycle? My mini that I still haven't got done in all of the parts that I've been working on for 20 years now almost. My mini.
The classic answer for people, the number one answer has been albums, the photo albums.
Oh, no.
Because they're memories. But nobody has photo albums anymore.
We have photo albums still. We have our kids. It's funny because when I was a little kid, I used to flip through the photo albums and look at them as a little kid. And we still have like our wedding photo album, and when my daughter was born, my wife was scrapbooking back then. So we have like 3 or 4, but yeah, no, I don't care about photo albums.
I asked Nina, and neither of us could come up with anything like super important.
You should save your skateboard.
That's what I kind of came down to. It was like, whatever, like if it's gone, who cares? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
So and then you realize, man, like. It's pretty liberating. There's nothing that I would rush in like, oh my God, I can't live without this thing, right? It's a good question. I thought about the podcast.
Okay, would you rather be blind or not be able to talk for the rest of your life?
Wow, blind or can't speak.
Yes, considering you spend all day every day just talking. So.
I'm a very visual person though. That's really rough.
Yeah. So you still be able to write. You could probably have one of those little voice things like...
Yeah.
I
would probably go... Wow, that's rough. I would probably go, I want to see. I probably want to see and then trust that I can have some kind of tech that could read my brain waves and speak for me or something. Stephen Hawking style.
Okay.
I'm a visual guy. Like if I had to only listen to stuff, I would adapt, I guess, but... That's a rough one.
I think I would go blind. Yeah.
It's funny how these things are around loss. It's around loss, not around like gaining stuff. It's loss.
Yeah. Although,
would you rather lose more?
Would you rather lose more? Yeah. Although it would be hard to drive to work. Like, I feel like I would be a pretty extraordinary and awesome blind guy. But I don't know.
So be an extraordinary, awesome, normal guy. You're not blind.
We're all blind, Evan.
You're not
We're all blind. We're
Let's
all
go.
blind. We're blind to the things around us. You're supposed to turn it around like that. Okay, those was 3 fun questions. Go ahead, Evan, hit us with the viewer questions.
All right. Ragib, how to get into flow. Mark, what do you got? How to get into flow?
I find that, one, it helps when you're really, really excited about whatever you're doing. I've noticed that I'm self-aware, or I've been watching that around 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I start to lose momentum. Maybe it's lack of coffee. Maybe it's lack of sleep. So one,
just in time for the podcast.
Well, this is fun. But I like getting up early in the morning, having everything super quiet, having great music, having coffee, and knowing that there's no pressure. There's no pressure to check emails, to answer anything, to talk to anyone. It's just my time. That, when you're excited about something and you're not being interrupted and you're feeling great, that's an amazing way to get into flow. But the other thing is the random times, there have been so many times where at 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon, I'm like, I really want to go for a jog, but I only have 15 minutes free. Like noticing that you want to do that and then actually just going out and doing it is also an amazing thing.
In his life.
I need more margin in my life, yes.
Yeah, decide.
Guess what's happening 1 minute after this podcast ends? My kids are having an end-of-school pool party where there's 30 kids coming to my house, and we scheduled it so that way 1 minute after this ending, we're off to pool party land. And what I was doing all afternoon before this was getting ready for the pool party. So no margin.
This is the problem. You got to watch this episode back and fix your life.
Fix my life, exactly.
I agree. You got to do work that you love. Makes a huge difference. It's really hard to get amped up for something you hate, and that's 85% of the problem right there. You just don't want to do the thing that you want to do. So, to Mark's point of, hey, I'm a genius at starting stuff, but then I hate everything else. Stop doing other stuff. Stop trying to psych yourself up and instead actually do work you're great at. That solves most of it. I would also add just music, especially at the beginning of the day. And then whatever it is that makes you come alive, whether it's watching a video, reading the book, do something every day for a short amount of time that makes you love your life more. Let's see. Tamasimatias. Wow, I destroyed that. I apologize. How do I get to the next challenge on my way? I don't know on what to work if I'm not training, so I'm pretty much stuck.
So I'm going to assume that the question is basically saying, how do I face challenge after challenge when I don't know what I don't know? Does that sound like a fair representation of the question?
Go for it.
Listen, I don't think you need to be chasing down your challenges. I think that if you're trying to do something really big, the challenges are going to come to you. And so the question is whether you're going to face them when they come along or not. And all you can do is you can skill yourself up, you can study for what you need to do, you can ask for help, you can surround yourself with people to help you when you face them. But are we really going out and seeking out challenges, or are we going to try and do something really big, have a destination in mind, and be open to them when they come and hit us, and then know that we will be able to bob and weave and do what we need to do when they do come there to simply face them? What is the problem? Why is this an issue? I don't understand.
I want to pick on this. So when they said, I don't know what to work on if I'm not training, I think you need to listen more. You need to pay attention to your ideas more. I think ideas are coming to you, and those are the things that you need to start working on. When you're not training, you have some downtime, you're in the shower, you're walking, whatever, you're in the car driving, something comes to you, that's the thing you want to do next, even if it doesn't make sense, right? Idea to action. That's what I would do more of. Just pay attention to your ideas and your thoughts for the next week. Something's going to come to you when you're not training, and it's going to seem crazy. That's the thing that you want to do next. That's what you need to go off and try next. That's what I got. Okay. Nuts about Ray. Nuts about Ray. Happy you're back. Did we leave? Did we not have an episode? We've done it every week, man, right? Even
every
when
week.
Had my concussion, didn't we do it?
Listen, they're just happy that we're here.
We're just here.
We'll take it.
That's once a week. We love it. Okay. Igor Borges, too. Wow.
Wow, you're
I
destroying these
apologize.
names.
Mark, we need you in studio to read names of people here. Are you here next week?
I think so.
Okay. I will make a video about your channel today. I love your content. Amazing. Thank you for the love. Give Mark Drager a shout out too. He's doing daily content now, right, Mark?
Back on the daily content for sure.
What's your YouTube? Life at Fanta or Mark Drager?
YouTube is Mark Drager. Instagram,
Drager.
Life at Fanta.
Go look it up. This one, can't see the name. White on white. How can I be aware of what's truly important in a world of distractions? Oh, this is great, Mark.
That is a deep question. Why are you so excited about it?
Because I want you to say something, and then I want you to tonight watch your answer back and then do it.
You go first. You answer first, then.
No. This is.
I don't want to be your puppet. I don't want to be your puppet. Go ahead. You answer first.
No, I just want to hear what Mark wants to say.
Okay, reread the question.
How can I be aware of what's truly important in a world of distractions?
I don't like that you're enjoying this so much, Evan.
You don't like that I'm enjoying things. Come on, Mark.
You're enjoying this too much. That's a tough question because what my immediate thing I want to go to is regret. It's the things that are most important to you, the things that matter the most, are the things that you do not. It's not that you fear to lose them. It's that if you lost them, they would be like a crushing loss to you. It's not that you didn't do something. It's that you'd look back on it with just tremendous regret. And so the things that matter most typically are wasted years, a lack of living your purpose, a lack of going deep within relationships, or saying the things that you wish you had said. It's always looking back on the things that you didn't do, not the things that you did and then made a mistake on. And so you just gotta go. Evan, what? You're judging me, Evan.
What do you mean? I'm only shaking my head. This is great.
I know, but I feel like I'm performing in front of a teacher here now.
How about
Master.
distractions? You have to touch on distractions. How do you know what's not a distraction?
Everything that keeps you from doing what you are supposed to be doing is a distraction.
What are you supposed to be doing?
Whatever it is you decide is the most important thing that you're supposed to be doing. Like we're not out here. No one's going to come along and tell us what the most important thing is for us.
You got 5 seconds. Thank you for watching.
Set a direction to go. Something to prove.
Do what you are a genius at. Period. Believe. If you want to see the last episode of my podcast with Mark, it's fire. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Hey there, it's Mark.
And Evan.
Wow. You're destroying the audio.
Let's go. Keep going.